Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we would like to present topic Commodity Murabahah Housing Financing in Cimb Bank, Practice and Issue. For subject IMU 602, Islamic Banking Theory and Practice. And this slide prepared for Dr. Siti Khadijah.
Alright, I would like to introduce our members. First, Ahmad Farhan bin Muhammad Fazli. Second, Nur Amal Zahira binti Muhammad Hairul Nizam. Third, Wan Fatin Fazira binti Wan Saadi. Fourth, Nur Alia Suhada binti Zunur Ain.
Our research objective, firstly, to study how Cimb Bank practice community Murabahah contract on use for housing product. Secondly, to analyze the feasibility of this product based on the rules of faith and the principle of Sharia based on value, morals and ethics. And lastly, to know the issue related to community Murabahah in flexi housing financing I.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Farhan bin Muhammad Fazli. First, we going to the first outline for this presentation, which is the introduction. The commodity murabahah and also tawarruk is the concept that was applied in Cimb Bank Berhad, especially for home financing. As we can see that if we look at the Islamic banking contract in Malaysia, before this, usually we use the several contract such as the buy bersama ajil and also buy inah for the home financing contract. However, the application of this buy inah contract is being criticized by the Islamic scholar, especially from the Middle East country, including East Mesir, Dubai, Qatar, and also Kuwait. Why? The question is why this contract by inah is being criticized by the Islamic scholar. So if we look at the modus operandi of buy inah, it looks like buy inah contract similarly like the application of riba, because it includes the uncertainty and have the third payer, third party in the contract. So this reason affect that the buy inah contract to use in the home financing. So buy inah contract nowadays in the home financing in the Malaysia is not applicable, it's not used by the Islamic banking sector. So the commodity murabahah contract developed by the Cimb Bank Berhad is to ensure the product more acceptable and practical when being applied by the clients to purchase the home financing contract. So this contract of commodity murabahah is lined up with the Sharia compliant to make sure this contract is free from the prohibited element, which is interest, uncertainty, and also gambling.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Wan Fatin Fazra binti Wan Saadi. Okay, I would like to explain about concept of commodity murabahah in Cimb Bank. Alright, commodity are things that are exchanged, mostly involving agriculture, products, raw resources, and minerals accordingly to the whole dictionary. This is the meaning of commodities. While murabahah is a form of transaction that is generally interpreted as cost price plus selling price, or better known as markup pricing by Islamic financial institution. This is the concept, is the meaning of murabahah. Alright, commodity murabahah defined as a type of sell and purchase transaction in which both parties, seller and buyer, agree to buy certain goods or commodities at cost plus a profit margin murabahah, and then sell the commodity back to other commodity traders, which is third party, in order to obtain cash. Alright, the current banking system always uses the latter kind to suit the demands of clients who desire cash without having to hunt for purchases of items acquired from banks. Okay, this is the concept of commodity murabahah.
Okay, for this slide, we will know about how CIMB Bank practice the commodity murabahah for housing financing product and the characteristic of flexi home financing product. This product use commodity of murabahah and tawarruk are the concept that was applied in the products of home financing, which is flexi home financing at CIMB Bank. Other products are available at CIMB Bank like Ijara Property Financing and Business Permits, Variable Home Financing and Flexi Home Business Okay. Flexi Home Financing product is a Sharia compliant financing facility and that offer our property as guarantee. This product can finance all types of home properties that are complete or still under construction. So, if customer decide to buy a house that is already or not fully ready, but the eligibility requirements in terms of the buyer is follow the terms, so the flexi home financing product is the best choice. Okay. Financing margin, which is MOF, up to 90%. MOF refer to margin of finance, which is the margin of financing that can be given from bank to customer that can apply. For example, if we want to buy a house with the price 150,000 ringgit, this means that the bank will finance 135,000 ringgit and the other 10% of 15,000 ringgit must be provided by the buyer as face payment. In this product, the customer can enjoy a flexible financing period up to 40 years or up to customer's age of 70 years according to the condition. So, customer can make the planning before apply this product. Flexi Home Financing offer the flexibility payment. This is because this product is the only product that offer a convenience to the customer by opening an investment account, which is current account Mudarabah. Customer can get profit from this Mudarabah current account and also customer can discharge extra money for every second. The closing balance at this account at the end of the day will be used to determine the profit rate applicable to the facility. Basically, Flexi Home Financing is a financing where customer can take the money and deposit money into a loan account without having any fees or procedure. Each month, the installment amount will be deducted from the customer current account as scheduled. So, customer will enjoy lower profit charge when depositing current account Mudarabah Flexi, which is Flexi Home Financing At the same time, this will allow the customer to enjoy lower profit charge on the facility account based on monthly service charge. Partial settlement are permitted and may be used to reduce the amount of the main facility, but provide that the customer must issue the return request for a reduction in the amount of the main facility. A reduction in the principal amount will result in a shorter financing and saving period for customer as less profit will be charged on this facility. The advantage of using this account is it will balance the amount of the customer's housing financing and cause the profit charge to be lower, and at the same time will reduce the customer payment period.
Next, what is the financing condition of flexi home financing I? So there are a few conditions who can purchase the flexi home financing I contract or agreement. So the individual must be the Malaysian citizens above the 18 years old are qualified to apply this contract. So there are a few documents that need to be ready for this application. Firstly is application form. Second is identification card. Identification card means IC. So third is the payslip for 3 months consecutive, or this is better for 6 months consecutive of the payslip, our payslip. Next is the EPF statement for 2 years. This you can get from the EPF kiosk or counter. And lastly is sale purchase agreement. So in the terms of employee, in the terms of employer also have their important role in order if the staff want to purchase the flexi home financing contract. So the employer also need to give the identification card of that IC, payslip of the employees for 3 months or 6 months consecutive. It is better for 6 months consecutive, so to increase uh, the purchasing for the loan can be guaranteed by the bank. So next is the EPF statement for 3 months consecutive, letter of appointment for the employees, and last but not least is a sale purchase agreement.
Okay, next on this slide, I will explain the step to make home financing at Cimb Islamic Bank. As we know, this product is based on the concept of commodity Murabahah. You all can refer to the modus operandi in the box below. Before this, we have known what is commodity and what is Murabahah, right? So, in this product, which is Flexi Home Financing I, firstly, customer who choose the flexi home financing I who want to buy a house need to come Cimb Islamic Bank branch to apply for this product. The bank will obtain all the required transaction document like salary slips and others document, and need keep in the mind that the concept used in this housing financing is community Murabahah, which is tawarruk. Okay, then secondly, the bank will buy the relevant commodity through broker A, and the customer who does not know who the broker A is, which is requires the bank user as agent. Okay, third, through the Murabahah contract, the bank will sell the commodity to the customer at the price set by bank, which is principal plus profit price, based on deferred payment between the customer and the bank. But at the time, customer is not making any payment yet. Okay, step 4. Through the Wakala contract, which is bank as agent, the customer will ask the bank to resell the commodity in the market. Okay, step 5. The bank will act as a sales agent appointed by the customer and will sell the commodity to broker B. And the relationship between broker A and broker B are not related in this contract. Okay, and step 6, the bank then will credit the proceed of the sale of the commodity into the customer account. And the last step, the customer requires additional installment set to the bank, which is principal plus profit price through a method agreed between the two parties. And in the Flexi Home Financing I, if the customer fail to make payment within the specific time, the composition rate, which is ta'wid used, is 1%.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Amal Zahira. Okay, now we go to the slide analysis of the implementation of Murabahah commodities in financing products, Flexi Home Financing I products in CIMB Bank. Okay, we go to the first point, consumption of tawarruk contract in Murabahah commodity operations. Tawarruk here refers to the involvement of various parties in the sale and purchase transaction, which in the case of Flexi Home Financing I, housing financing product involve four parties. Namely the bank Cimb Islamic, which customer, broker 1 and broker 2. In this case, tawarruk which is used by Cimb Islamic instead of tawarruk which is in the form of mutabi'. There is no relationship between broker 1 and broker 2, and these two brokers are under different management. Therefore, it is clear that the tawarruk transaction that exists in the Flexi Home Financing I home financing product is an actual sale and purchase transaction and not a fabricated one, even though in this case there is an element of arrangement in the initial agreement. So there is no Sharia issue in this case. Okay, next, Murabahah commodity consumption in Islamic banking. The issue of the use of Murabahah commodities in Islamic banking shows the consistency of the principle outlined by the fuqaha, which is based on the argument of the Murabahah commodity consumption mechanism, which is an extension of Bai' al-Murabahah, which has been allowed to be used. The Sharia Advisory Council of Bank Negara Malaysia agreed to allow the use of the Murabahah commodity on 28 July 2005. The purpose is to offer new instruments to Islamic financial institutions to manage the liquidity of funds in the Islamic interbank money market. Murabahah commodities also provide returns based on margins or markups from the sale or purchase of assets. Okay, next point, Murabahah contract consumption in Flexi Home Financing I financing products. In this case, CIMB Islamic acts to buy the commodity from broker 1 at cost price and sell it to the customer at the cost price plus margin. Therefore, the issue related to Murabahah contract does not exist because we agreed by the bank with the customer. There is no doubtful issue from the Sharia aspect on the issue of Murabahah contract in this housing financing product, which could affect the validity of this transaction. This is because it clearly shows that the bank has bought the commodity at cost price and sold it to the customer at the margin price as agreed. Okay, then ta'wid and ibrah in Flexi Home Financing I. Ta'wid is generally defined as compensating for the loss suffered as a result of the harm caused. If in terms of Islamic banking, ta'wid is a fine imposed on customers who are late or deliberately defer to the principal balance charged by the bank due to a sale and purchase agreement or any form of financing that has been entered into. Ta'wid needs to be implemented in Islamic banking on customers who are late or deliberately defer the prescribed principal balance. If ta'wid cannot be performed, then the customer is free or can defer the payment of the principal at will. This puts a risk on the cost of CIMB Islamic Bank's operation, which require capital from the customer to invest and expansion of operations. Okay, while ibrah means to drop the right to claim on a matter, that the right mean is the responsibility of the other party that needs to be exercised against it. In Islamic banking terms, ibrah is a discount or rebate given to customers who are able to settle the payment in advance before the stipulated period. While the giving of ibrah to customers who settle the initial payment before the maturity period of the financing is a public benefit and social responsibility of the bank. In the context of giving ibrah, it is the responsibility of the bank to execute the promise of the customer. Okay, last point, the existence of an element of gharar or risk. Gharar means uncertainty about something that exists. What is meant by gharar in housing financing is related to the uncertainty as to whether the house purchased by the customer can be complete or not within the stipulated period. The problem of abandoned housing project is a common problem when housing developers fail to be complete homes purchased by customer. The impact of an abandoned housing project will be borne entirely by the customer and not to the bank. The reality in this case is the customer will deal with the developer and not to the bank if the house is abandoned. Okay, now we go to the next slide. Analysis of FIG methods and syarat principle in housing financing products, flexi home financing products. Okay, the first point, the origin of akad and the conditions are must unless there is evidence that forbids it from Al-Suyuti in on 911 Hijrah. Customers who choose flexi home financing products to buy a home need to come to Cimb Islamic to make an application. The bank will obtain the required documents from the customer. The concept used in this housing financing is the commodity Murabahah. In this first step, there is an agreement involving ijab and kabul between the customer and the bank. It is this agreement that binds the agreement between the customer and the bank. Therefore, the importance of the rule of the contract that causes the agreement process between the customers and the bank to be signed. Okay, next, the origin of a transaction must be unless there is a proposition that forbids it. Through the Murabahah contract, the bank will sell the commodity to the customer at the price set by bank based on deferred payment. In this third step, the occurrence of by al-Murabahah is a akad of sale and purchase which is obligatory in Islam. It is a form to buying and selling that takes additional profit from the principal price and is allowed by Shara. By al-Murabahah consists with this method of it. Okay, then the third point, the principle of cooperation and mutual help. The bank will buy certain commodities through broker one. In the second step, this process is the concept of wakalah when the customer delegates to the bank to buy commodities from broker one. The concept of wakalah is required in Sharia. In the second step, the ta'awun principle is also implemented, which is cooperation and help between the two parties. Okay, next, the principle of trust and honesty in every action, which is responsibility. Home buyers who choose this financing product must comply with the financing procedures set by the bank in advance, such as the buyer needs to fill in the financing application form, bring identity card, passport photo, copy of salary slip, EPF statement, and sales and purchase agreement form. Failure to provide the request items will cause the application process to be interrupted. Okay, the buyer also can not write false information or documents. If there are false details, the bank will cancel the agreement.
We're going to the first issue for this presentation, which is the first issue is the nominee status of the home financing after the buyer passed away. So first thing first that we have to understand is when the buyer want to purchase the home financing contract, some of the staff of bank will urge the buyer to purchase the MRTT coverage for the home financing. But we have to understand that MRTT coverage is not compulsory to take in the home financing contract. So this source comes from the Bank Negara Malaysia. However, the MRTT coverage is very recommended to take to cover the loan. So in this issue, we're going to discuss about the two scenarios of the nominee status. So the first scenario is if the client purchased the MRTT coverage in their home financing contract. The second scenario is if the client doesn't have the MRTT coverage in his contract. So first we're going to the first scenario. The client purchased the MRTT coverage for the home financing. So for this situation, for this scenario, the MRTT coverage will cover the loan of the home financing, and the nominee status will be transferred to the family members if the MRTT coverage term same with the home financing contract in the policy of contract that. So if the MRTT coverage is not same as the home financing contract, so the his need to top up the balance, and after the settlement of the payment for the home, the nominee status will transfer to the family members. That is the first scenario. The second scenario is if the client is not purchasing the MRTT coverage in the policy. In this scenario, the family member will not get the house until the family members need to settle the loan. So this nominee status will be belongs to the bank until the family members settle the loan of the home financing.
Okay, next I will explain about the operational model of commodity Murabahah House Suk Asila. Alright, Bank Negara Malaysia, the Bank Negara Malaysia, the Securities Commission, Bursa Malaysia, and Islamic financial sector participants have collaborated to launch Commodity Murabahah House, a completely electronic web-based Syariah commodity trading platform CMH. Alright, CMH, which is stand for Community Murabahah House, allows community-based Islamic investment trading and financing under the principle of Tawarruk, Murabahah, and or Musawamah as an international commodity platform. Alright, Community Murabahah House also enable trading in a variety of other currency, giving international financial institutions more alternatives, access and flexibility in the Syariah commodities trading market. Alright, this is the modus operandi of operational model Commodity Murabahah House, Suk Asila. Okay, to begin, clear specified crude palm oil (CPO) is exchanged in ringgit at CMH, which stands is Commodity Murabahah House. Commodity Murabahah House also enables trading in a variety of other currency, giving international financial institutions more alternative access and flexibility in the Syariah commodities trading market. The seller must own the CPO prior to any selling transaction under CMH proposed structure. Next, if the buyer purchasing position is greater than commodity sale and the trading accounts are not squared off on the same day, Commodity Murabahah House authorize the buyer to obtain delivery of the commodity. The CPO buyer must first get a license from the Malaysian Palm Oil Board before receiving delivery and will be charged a delivery fee specified by the CMH as well as extra transport and storage fees. The DSSC was consulted in this respect to determine if the proposed implementation of CMH is Syariah compliant. So this is the modus operandi. This is the modus operandi of Commodity Murabahah House, Suk Asila.
Okay, for conclusion, the housing financing scheme through a product called Practise Home Financing I offered by CIMB Islamic Bank is one of the innovative products in an effort to make the financing product offered to these customers free from usury, and also found that this product is lined up with the Sharia compliance and ability to stand up with the value of moral and ethics, which is compliance with principles of Sharia. Therefore, the development of Islamic financial products in particular needs to be further enhanced so that it becomes a contribution in line with the development of the Islamic economy as the development of Murabahah commodity best financing products is able to be a platform for the provision of more other Islamic financial instruments.